Jenny versus Sumit's family has become one of the most shocking and painful scandals ever seen in the 90-Day Fiancé world. What started as a love story now feels like a nightmare. Fans who once supported Jenny and Sumit's romance are watching it turn into a crisis that could destroy everything they built. Behind the love story shown on TV, a secret battle has been growing. It involves control, betrayal, and legal drama that could change how people see reality TV forever. At first, there were only small signs. Everything seemed fine, but those close to the couple noticed quiet arguments, sudden disappearances, and strange messages that outsiders didn't understand. Viewers didn't know that Sumit's parents had officially filed a lawsuit against Jenny, claiming she was hurting not only their son, but also the family's name and future. The situation quickly turned serious. Sources said that if Jenny didn't divorce Sumit, she might lose all rights to the family's property, land, and wealth passed down for generations. The legal papers and letters Jenny received were described as cold, threatening, and meant to scare her into giving up. Every word felt like a warning of financial ruin and public shame. But Jenny didn't back down. Her friends say she immediately started preparing to fight back. She planned to sue Sumit's parents for threats, pressure, and harassment. People close to her said she spent sleepless nights pacing around, crying, and carefully writing down everything they said or did to intimidate her. The kind and quiet woman had become a fighter, ready to take on a powerful family to protect her marriage and her dignity. The emotional tension in Jenny and Sumit's home became unbearable. Witnesses said there were many nights filled with silence, interrupted only by tears, yelling, and painful words. Sumit was stuck in the middle. He loved Jenny, but he didn't want to lose his parents. Friends said he broke down more than once, unsure how to handle the stress. The couple, once deeply connected, now felt like strangers sharing a space filled with fear and uncertainty. They never knew when the next fight would happen. Privately, the court case was already turning into a major event. Legal experts said it might change how people think about marriage rights, inheritance, and family power. If Jenny lost, she might not be allowed to live with Sumit or benefit from their marriage. But if she won, the case could reveal family abuse and manipulation that rarely gets exposed in public. Both sides were willing to risk everything. Soon, rumors of the lawsuit spread online. Fans who had once cheered the couple were now divided. Some supported Sumit's parents, saying they were only protecting their family's legacy. Others stood by Jenny, seeing her as a strong woman standing up against unfair treatment. Online, fans shared leaked texts, theories, and insider information. The couple's drama took over forums, Instagram, and TikTok. But as the world followed every update, Jenny's personal life fell deeper into chaos. Friends said she barely slept and lived in constant fear of sudden attacks, either in court or in private. She carried letters, voice recordings, and screenshots everywhere, ready to defend herself. The emotional pressure was overwhelming. She felt fear, sadness, and anxiety every single day. But still, she refused to give up. Sumit, too, was falling apart. Stuck between his wife and his family, he was said to be depressed. People close to him described him pacing the apartment, crying alone, and constantly calling friends. Every decision seemed to come with painful consequences. Their relationship was crumbling under the stress. As the conflict got worse, more shocking details came out. Sources claim that Sumit's parents had reached out to mutual friends, trying to turn people against Jenny, isolate her socially, and damage her reputation. At the same time, Jenny started fighting back in her own way. She gathered support, collected statements, and even secretly recorded arguments for legal use. What began as a disagreement over property had now turned into a fight for survival, power, and truth. The mental and emotional warfare between Jenny and Sumit's parents kept growing. Friends described a pattern of threats and manipulations that left Jenny feeling scared, unsafe, and unsure who to trust. Sumit faced a terrible choice: stand with Jenny and risk being cut off from his family forever, or follow his parents' wishes and lose his wife. Each day brought more pressure, and neither path offered peace. As the court date got closer, people started to guess what might happen. Experts predicted a wide range of outcomes, each worse than the last. If Jenny won, She could reveal how the family tried to control her and keep her from her rights as a wife. She might gain the legal protection she needed to stay with Sumit and share in their life together. But if she lost, she could be forced to leave the home they built, the man she loved, and face public judgment from millions of viewers. This drama wasn't just on TV or the internet. In private, Jenny and Sumit were having hard conversations filled with fear, sadness, and honesty. Friends said Jenny admitted she had never felt so alone, so surrounded, or so deeply aware of how much danger she was in. Sumit reportedly said he was afraid of losing both his family and his wife. The emotional toll was crushing for them both. What makes all of this even more shocking is that none of it has aired on television. The happy scenes, the sweet moments, and the emotional reunions that fans saw on screen were carefully edited, hiding the truth. Behind the scenes, Jenny and Sumit were facing threats, manipulation, and a legal disaster that no episode could ever fully show. Their storm is still raging. Sources say even more shocking updates are coming. Secret alliances, unexpected betrayals, and legal moves that could surprise the entire world. New twists keep appearing, and each one could change not just the lives of Jenny and Sumit, but how people everywhere think about love, family, and loyalty in reality TV. Through it all, one thing is clear. Jenny is not giving up the fight. She refused to give up, even when facing emotional pain, threats, and fear. Her fight has always been about life, dignity, and the right to choose love over power. It's not just about a home or property. At the same time, Sumit's parents continued trying to control the situation and protect their traditions. All over the world, people are waiting eagerly to see what happens next. The conflict between Jenny and Sumit's family is one of the most shocking, emotional, and intense storylines in the history of 90 Day Fiancé. And it's not over yet. As more secrets, arguments, and heartbreak come to light, viewers are left shocked and emotional. This is a story where a fairy tale turned into a nightmare. A high-stakes battle that might become one of the most unforgettable moments in reality TV. Jenny and Sumit's lives have been changed forever. What's coming next may be even more surprising than anything that's happened before. People around the world are watching, wondering if Jenny will stand strong against the threats and pressure, or if Sumit's family will succeed in ending their relationship and tearing apart their future. This dark and emotional drama is still unfolding, and the final part may be more painful than anything fans have seen so far. After living together in India for 5 years, Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh, the couple from 90 Day Fiancé, made a big decision. When Sumit was working at a call center, he spent a year pretending to be a man named Michael Jones to catfish Jenny, who was living in California. Sumit was born and raised in Delhi. In season 1 of The Other Way, Sumit did not tell his parents that Jenny was coming to live in India. He also kept his previous marriage a secret from her. He would often move back and forth between his parents' house and the home he shared with Jenny until his in-laws caught him. After he decided to divorce his first wife, Jenny and Sumit moved into a bungalow in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. They later lived in a spacious home in Noida. Fans got to see a preview of their Hindu housewarming ceremony at the Noida house in season 2 of The Other Way. Before they could enter the home, a priest met them at the gate and led them through a series of symbolic rituals. He poured water into their hands using a leaf and told them to raise their hands above their heads. According to Sumit, the ceremony was meant to clear out negative energy. Jenny carried a flower pot on her head, chanted Sanskrit mantras, and even brought in a cow as part of the ritual. At one point, Jenny and Sumit considered moving to Thailand. David Toborowski and Annie Suwin offered their property on Jomtien Beach as a possible home for the couple. In an episode of 90 Day Diaries, David, now a real estate agent, showed them a fully furnished one-bedroom condo that cost 2.1 million Thai baht. Because of their struggles in India, the beachfront apartment was appealing. It was available for foreign ownership, which made it even more attractive. But in the end, Jenny and Sumit decided to stay in India and continue their life together there. Later, Sumit and Jenny moved in with his parents. In a surprising turn of events shown in a 90 Day Diaries episode in January 2024, Jenny was officially accepted by Sumit's mother, Sana, as her daughter-in-law. Sanaa had strongly disapproved of their relationship for years and even threatened to disown Sumit. But eventually, she changed her mind. Both Jenny and Sumit were touched by this moment. However, some fans weren't convinced this peace would last. Eventually, Sumit and Jenny relocated to a clean, well-maintained apartment in a gated community. Though it was smaller, it was safer and more comfortable than their previous home. They decided to move because the rent had gone up and their old house had become run down. The new apartment was still expensive, and things became harder when Sumit lost his job at a restaurant. On a positive note, Jenny and Sanaa have grown closer over the last 15 months. Sumit opened up to his mother, telling her he was feeling stressed. He even asked Jenny, now 65 years old, if she would consider working. Sanaa agreed with the idea. Jenny and Sumit recently celebrated their third wedding anniversary by renewing their vows. Unlike their first wedding, this time Sumit's parents, Sanaa and Anil, were present. Because Sumit was still unemployed and many job openings required trained chefs, his parents offered him a place to stay. Jenny was unhappy that Sumit accepted the offer without discussing it with her, but she understood how important it was for him. She accepted this new chapter of their life, now with Sanaa and Anil supporting Sumit. As of 2025, Jenny appears to be living happily in the US with Sumit. She seems joyful living her dream life with the man she truly loves. In a photo, they both look happy together. Their journey hasn't been easy. They've gone through a lot, but it seems the worst is behind them now. Jenny shared a message along with the photo that many people could relate to. Even though she asked a thoughtful question in the post, it's clear that she is thrilled to be in America with Sumit. Living in India had been very stressful for Jenny. Sumit's parents treated him badly, which made him feel unworthy. They were harsh and judged Jenny for not being traditional enough. They also thought she was too old to be a proper daughter-in-law. That might have been due to cultural differences. But Jenny wasn't at fault for not fitting into their expectations. Even when Sumit's parents said terrible things to her, she didn't walk away. She stayed because she loved Sumit and believed in their future. She hoped for a real marriage and a happy ending. Sumit had to face many challenges before he could give her that. Jenny had reasons to be afraid he might let her down, but he didn't. He stayed with Jenny and finally married her. He seems to truly care for his American wife. He also seems to enjoy the freedom of living in the United States. In recent photos, he's seen wearing his hair in beautiful, natural curls. The cast members of 90 Day Fiancé seem to be enjoying life more than ever this year, and they both look great. Their happiness has been hard-earned, and they deserve it. Sumit Singh from 90 Day Fiancé has posted cheerful photos of himself and Jenny Slatin, showing that they're enjoying life. But the message he shared with the pictures hints that things might not be perfect in their relationship. Jenny and Sumit first connected on Facebook 10 years ago. At first, Sumit tried to catfish Jenny online while he was still married to another woman in India. But even after the truth came out, they stayed together and kept their love alive. Despite Sumit's parents strongly opposing their relationship, the couple got married and settled down in India. Even though their main storyline on the show has ended, Sumit and Jenny have asked the network to bring them back. They did get a chance to appear on season 6 of 90 Day Diaries, but it looks like they might be going through more relationship struggles now. Recently, they shared pictures from a day out together. In the photos, they looked happy while riding horses and wearing casual clothes. But Sumit's comment alongside the photos was more serious. He wrote, "Trying to have some good time in scarcity." With those words, he hinted that happy moments with Jenny may be few and far between. He added, "True love always wins. So lucky to have you in my life." Sumit's comment about scarcity seems to suggest that he misses having more joyful moments with Jenny. Even though their relationship had a rocky start, they've become one of the most successful couples from 90 Day Fiancé over the past 5 years. There's a big 30-year age difference between them, but Sumit still chose to marry Jenny despite his parents' disapproval. Even with their strong love for each other, they've had disagreements about their future. Jenny doesn't want to have more children, but Sumit has said he still dreams of becoming a father. Although they're still living together in India, signs of strain are starting to show in their relationship. Sumit's focus on scarcity makes it seem like he's missing the better days of their relationship. He may be feeling sad that some of his dreams, like having children, may never come true. It's possible that Sumit is having second thoughts about marrying someone so much older. It's understandable that he would want to experience everything life has to offer, including fatherhood. But Sumit also knows that some dreams may remain unfulfilled. Still, he is staying hopeful and believes that true love always wins. That positive mindset is important if he and Jenny want to keep their marriage strong. That be why posting happy photos while talking about scarcity. Sumit might be trying to bring attention to how rare joyful moments have become. Jenny and Sumit want to grow closer by making new memories together. It's not surprising that they may be facing some relationship issues. A large age gap and cultural differences can often lead to conflict. Jenny is in her mid-60s and Sumit is in his 30s. To stay together, both of them have had to make sacrifices. They probably enjoyed the chance to bond during their recent outing and create new moments of love. Their goal seems to be building a happily ever after life by changing their lifestyle. They are also trying to avoid the drama that comes with unresolved issues with Sumit's family. While Sumit and Jenny are still together, it's clear their relationship continues to face quiet challenges behind the scenes. From the outside, they appear happy, traveling, posting photos, and showing their followers that love can win against all odds. But anyone who has followed their journey from the start knows their love story has never been simple. From secret marriages to family rejection and the 30-year age gap, every step of their relationship has come with obstacles. Now, several years into their marriage, those same issues haven't disappeared completely. They've simply changed form. Earlier, they were fighting for the right to be together. Now, they're learning how to live together every day with different expectations and dreams. Jenny is older and more settled. She enjoys a calm, peaceful life, often looking for comfort and stability. Sumit, on the other hand, is still in his 30s and seems to want more from life. New experiences, more excitement, and possibly the chance to become a father. These differences can't be ignored forever. And while Sumit tries to stay optimistic by saying things like, true love always wins, there's a quiet sadness in some of his recent words. When he says they are trying to have some good time in scarcity, it shows he may be feeling a lack of joy, fun, or even emotional connection. He may miss the early, exciting days of their relationship, or maybe starting to wonder what the future holds for them as Jenny continues to age. Despite all this, it's important to remember how far they've come. Few couples on 90 Day Fiancé have faced as much opposition and still stayed together. Sumit had to go against his entire family's wishes. He even risked being disowned by his parents. Jenny left everything she knew behind in America to be with him in India, a country with very different customs, traditions, and expectations. She also had to accept the truth about Sumit's previous marriage and forgive him for keeping it from her for so long. They both sacrificed a lot. That's not something people forget easily. But sacrifices don't always make things easier in the long run. Sometimes they lead to new problems. Jenny might feel that she's already given up so much and wants peace. She may not want to go through more emotional battles now. Sumit, on the other hand, may feel stuck, torn between the life he has now and the life he once dreamed of having, possibly with children or more support from his family. Even though Sumit's parents finally accepted Jenny as their daughter-in-law, that acceptance came very late and might not be as deep or long-lasting as it seems. Their approval may have been more about keeping peace, or moving on than fully embracing Jenny. And that can create tension that still lingers in the background. Financial stress has also played a role. After Sumit lost his job at a restaurant, the couple had to downsize from their larger home to a smaller apartment. Although their new place is in a safer, gated community, it's still expensive. Without a stable income, every expense adds pressure. And when people feel pressure financially, emotional strain often follows. In one 90 Day Diaries episode, Sumit even asked Jenny if she'd be willing to work. Jenny, now in her mid-60s, probably didn't expect to need to work again, especially after moving across the world. But to support their household, she considered it. It's a reminder that even with love, practical problems like money, jobs, and aging don't just go away. That's why fans were surprised but hopeful when they saw Jenny and Sumit enjoying a recent horseback riding outing. It's clear they're making an effort to stay close and find moments of happiness together. These little adventures show they're still trying to create new memories, even if they're dealing with deeper issues behind the scenes. Sumit's message, though quiet and subtle, reveals his emotional state. It sounds like he wants more joy, more love, and more meaning in their relationship, but those things might be harder to come by now. Time changes people. And as they both continue to grow older at very different paces, their goals and dreams might not always line up the same way. Still, Sumit holds on to hope. His words, "so lucky to have you in my life," show that he does value Jenny and everything they've shared. Despite doubts or sadness, he's trying to stay grateful. And that's important. Gratitude can keep a relationship strong even when things aren't perfect. It's also worth noting that Jenny seems more comfortable and content in America. She has shared pictures and posts where she looks truly